You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/kidsandfamily. Just go to Indeed.com/kidsandfamily right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Are you ready to learn the 3 secrets to launching a successful podcast? Hi, I'm Bill, a recent client of the Podcast Mogul. If you've been thinking about starting a podcast but aren't sure where to begin, he's got you covered. He is hosting a free webinar where he will share the 3 secrets that can help you launch, grow, and monetize your podcast without any fancy equipment or technical headaches. Click the link in the show notes to save your spot now and let him help get your podcast off the ground.
Welcome to Invest in Yourself, the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast. Join the podcast mogul Phil Better as he interviews successful entrepreneurs that make their living in the digital world. Now, let's join your host, Phil Better, and his special guest today on Invest in Yourself, the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast.
Hello and welcome, listeners, to another enlightening episode of Invest in Yourself, the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Phil Better, the podcast mogul, and it brings me immense pleasure to introduce our distinguished guest today. Joining us is none other than an international image stylish coach, master hairstylist, and speaker, recognized as the total transformational specialist. They work wonders revealing her clients' true selves from head to toe and inside out by imparting the unknown secrets of aligning with their essence. Our guest emphasizes the significance of how one feels in their clothes, asserting that it is as crucial as how one looks. Your unique approach suggests that what we can wear can impact our income, professional opportunities, personal connections, and even our self-perception. It's a holistic perspective that transcends the surface to touch every aspect of our lives. Living authentically as a fire in the element typing system has transformed her experience, allowing our guests to confidently navigate life while embracing their true self. Our guest is on a mission to extend this transformational to other women, guiding them to discover the joy of living in harmony with their authenticity through the element typing system. Prepare to delve into a world of total transformation and authentic self-discovery. Without further ado, let's warmly welcome our guest today, the remarkable Patsy Sanders. Patty, thank you so much for being here.
Well, Phil, it's really a delight to be on your show today. So thank you so much for the invitation.
When I set out the request to have different people on and I received your request to get on the show, I was just floored by all the amazing things you've done, and I just can't wait to dive into it. So I want to thank you for accepting my invitation to be on the show.
You're so welcome.
All right, Patsy, we're going to just jump into it because I want to know, why did you become an entrepreneur?
Well, ever since I was a little girl, I wanted to be a hairstylist. I just loved it. I did my doll's hair, the neighbor's hair, my mom's hair, and I won a scholarship in high school to go to beauty college. And so I have done it for over 5 decades because I never get tired of making people look good and feel good about themselves. And really, your hairstyle has a big impact because when people look at you today, the latest statistic is they make an assessment about you in the first 3 to 5 seconds. And 50% on how you look and what you're wearing. That's according to Harvard Business School. So I help people embrace their natural essence and beauty of who they are. Essence is all of you, inside, outside, head to toe, right? It's all of who you're born to be. And we're all here on a mission to do something. And so I think that being confident is a struggle a lot of times, right? And then especially if you're speaking live or on Zoom live, like, what do I wear? And that's the mystery I take out of looking amazing.
I love it. I love it. So from a young age, obviously, we know you love to do hair, and what better place you can get to do amazing things with hair. When did you decide to go from just being a regular hairstylist to helping people embrace their true essence through what they wear and how they look?
Well, about, I think, 8 years ago, I met a woman in a 12-step program, and this was my journey. I used to weigh 250 pounds. I was a size 20, 22. I moved to a new area, pretty miserable, tried to get a new job. Now, I'd owned 3 salons and was on an international hair design team, and I had a hard time getting a job, which blew my mind. I felt like there was a lot of prejudice. My husband was old and I was fat, and we struggled getting jobs in a city. Finally, we both got jobs and moved on, but somebody introduced me to a 12-step program for food. And I went from a size 20, 22 to a 6'8" in 8 months. And I've kind of been the same way for 14 years. So in that, I had my own transformation of changing how I looked, how I dressed, had a total different body type compared to what I did before. And so, that was a journey in itself. And then in this program, I met a gal that was a speaker trainer, and she became my client, her and her husband, and she was doing a training, and she goes, "Patsy, would you come do the hair for my weekend? Because my stylist does head to toe transformations in the element system." And she said, the hair shape and style is the start of it. And I said, "Oh, okay." So I was happy to go do that. Well, I'd been color typed in the 80s when they did the seasonal thing, which is like match your hair, skin, and eye color. And I was known as a winter, which were black and jewel tones. So I wear those all my life. And so I went, she'd say, cut their hair with a bang, cut their hair in an A-line, cut their hair with layers, whatever she told me to do, I would do that. And she loved it. And my friend said to me, "Hey, Patsy, what? Barbara wants to color type you in the elements for thanking her to help her have this complete look." I said, "No, I look good. I know how to dress nice." And my friend said to me, "Patsy, you've been complaining a lot lately as you've started a new business." She said, "Wonderful, what you're wearing is stopping people from working with you."
Oh.
So I knew I could be open to possibilities and a little vulnerable, or I could keep struggling. And I was struggling. I said, "Fine, I just don't want to be one of those fires." And they were all the fall colors. Well, I ended up being a fire, and I was not a happy camper. She goes, "Patsy, let's do this. Let's go shopping. Just buy a few tops in the right colors." And I'll show you, Phil, in these colors. And she said, "They're all the fall colors, and we'll see what we can find, and just wear them. And if people don't treat you differently, you don't have to do this. You could do what you've done before." I said, "Okay." And every time I wore one of those colors, one of those new tops to work, my clients started going, "Wow, Patsy, you look really nice today. Wow, Patsy, you look really pretty today." And about a week later, the salon owner said, "Patsy, what are you doing different lately? You just look amazing." I said I changed my tops. Now, I had purple highlights and really dark brown hair then, and I hadn't even changed that yet. But people noticed me, not my outfit or my hairstyle. I got lots of compliments on having purple highlights, but not them saying I look nice. And I thought, oh my gosh, there's something magical about this. And what I realized is when people are wearing the right colors that are perfect for them, then you get to be seen and heard in a bigger way. So I wanted to add that to my new salon business, because I was trying to do something different in a big town. I mean, there was a salon in every corner of this new town. So anyway, then I started taking off. Well, I manifested a makeover studio. I just thought, okay, this would be awesome to have one place to do everything. And I put that together. I could do people's color typing. I could do the women's makeup, give them the right hairstyle. Then my clients started giving me their gently used nice clothes that didn't work for them anymore. And I started selling them out of the salon and all the accessories. It was so fun for 2 years. And then COVID closed me down. And I thought, well, God, now what do I do? And then we started getting on all the Zoom Hollywood squares of networking, right? Did you not do that? Okay.
I did a few of that.
Well, that was kind of everything. And I got to realize that a lot of people had great talent and were doing these amazing things, but to look at them was not fun. Some of them, like guys would wear an old t-shirt, right? This is your new office now, right? This Zoomer was your new office. And, or somebody would wear this bold top or and all you could see is their top. And I realized entrepreneurs don't know how to dress in a way that makes them look attractive. So that was my mission. And so God gave me this download to do it virtually. I did a beta testing, a couple different women in different states. And then I had a girlfriend that was a coach, and I love working with other coaches. And she had a bunch of friends that wanted it done. So we did it, and I could color type people on Zoom with the right lighting. I'd send them a style kit with different fabrics, a little bit of makeup, and I could tell what their element was of air, fire, water, and earth. And I thought, oh my gosh. So now I have clients all over the world. I have them in Canada, England, Paris, Portugal, South America. Like, I never dreamed that if I was open to possibilities, things could change and things could be better than I ever expected. So for me, saying yes to the unknown, trusting somebody that really saw more in me than I even saw in myself, right? Sometimes people can see your gifts before you do.
Oh, yeah.
And it's been so much fun. And I'm so passionate about doing this for people because whether you're on Zoom or not, whether you're just, just coming out of a job, sometimes you get stuck in a uniform, especially if you're in corporate. Everybody wears black or navy or gray but that may not be your personal color. So I work with people to help them embrace their own essence with their own color palette so they can be confident. So when they go to their wardrobe, they know what to put on. But the part that's the most fascinating, Phil, is this. I realize that color is magical. Like, you don't buy a car without looking at the color. I mean, of course, guys look at it for the speed and the stuff. Right? Or paint a room or buy furniture. Like, everything is based on around the impact of color.
Yeah.
And I realized that everybody has their own color essence. So that changed everything. Now I have so much fun doing this because I feel like, it's really a foundation piece in your entrepreneurship. If you have a really good wardrobe and you know how to have good lighting and you know what to wear and you know how to have the right look in your room, like if your brand and your image align, that it takes the guesswork out. And I find that when you look good, people are curious. They thought, oh, I wonder what they have to say, right? So it could be impactful to be open to possibility. And if you try something that doesn't work, try something else. Like, we're not stuck in a role. But if you have a gift and you're passionate about doing that, then you're going to go and see what you can do to be your best authentic self and then go out there. So the part that's, I think, is the most fun is once you get dressed and walk out of your bedroom, your hair's done, your makeup's on, or you've got a cool shirt on, or you may want to wear a really dapper hat or something. Sometimes guys look great in a vest. It depends on what you like, right? We kind of give you your own unique style. And you walk out of your bedroom, you don't have to think about you the rest of the day. Now you invest your energy in helping your clients, the people around you, where you go, you bring that energy. So each one of the color palettes has, different strips in it. And if you're the speaker, you're going to wear a foundation color. And if you're on Zoom, like today, you've got this bright red orange shirt on, it's an impact color, right? So you might want to wear a dynamic. And then maybe you're working with people, you're doing heart work and it's tender. You might want to wear tranquil, something softer, more appealing. Well, each one of those bring energy to the room. And so I teach people how to use energy for the right day, the right event, the right thing that they're working on that day. And it helps just build a connection. I mean, it's all about relationships, right? We're just trying to build relationships with people. And when we connect with the right people, then those are maybe our perfect clients.
I have to agree with you. I remember working in corporate world where I had to wear a simple, like one color piece kind of suit, and it was just draining. It would drain the energy out of me. But the minute I got home, put on my, my own clothes, my own colors so that I got to choose, energy abounded. So I fully agree with you. Like, the clothes make the person.
Yeah.
And obviously when you wear something that actually suits you, get the compliments, like you said. Like when I wear green, I know green is one of my colors. People always compliment me when I'm in usually an emerald to light green are my colors. I know those colors, I can never go wrong. But yeah, I fully agree with you that the energy that someone brings is also part of what the colors they're wearing, because you want to be out there, you want to be the energy to the crowd, and if you're wearing a dark color that's subtle or that it's dampening, you don't have that energy. You I feel like you close up.
Yeah.
With some people. Um, so when you decided after COVID happened, like COVID pretty much shut down all major businesses, and you went over to the digital side.
Yep.
What was it like? Were you worried that you would have this difficulty on helping people?
Well, that's why I did a beta testing, did a real inexpensive, pay me this little amount of money, and let's see if it works for you. And this is what's really fascinating to me is that I had one of the women that I did a beta testing on about 6 years ago, 7 years ago, maybe. She contacted me the other day and she was shopping with a bunch of friends and she was very pregnant and they had went to this event. Well, she didn't know they were going to take photos. So they had to go shopping to find her something that she wanted to wear. So she gave them her color palette and the five of them went and found her like 6 outfits and every one of them worked. And they go, how do you do this? So do you know what I'm saying? It took the guesswork out. And so she picked the ones she liked and she knew what to do. So now I'm part of her, her master program as part of one of, if they get to work with me when they sign up with her. So I love being part of people's programs because I feel like I'm a great come alongside you partner for people that are, helping entrepreneurs. Let's do it as a team. You don't have to do everything by yourself. I do a lot of women's retreats because experience this in person is so magical. I can't even tell you. And when a bunch of girls get together and they go shopping, it takes all the walls down. Everybody goes, oh, this is fun. It's more fun. And it's not fun if you aren't gifted in shopping. A lot of people, 65% of my clients hate to shop. And that's my genius. That's why I love working with people. I can shop for you anywhere. I have a lot of Canadian clients. And so what I do now is I have one client just sent another client in Canada the style kit, and then I pay her to whatever her shipping was, and then she'll hold it until the next person, I want to refer to. So it costs $70 to send the style kit to Canada. You know what I mean? So here now they share it with me, and that helps me and it helps them get it sooner. So it's quite fascinating. You know what I mean?
I love how you like just in Canada you have your little group of people who are like, you're my salesperson, if you will. You're gonna be my shipping person to get that over to the next person so it doesn't cost an arm and a leg and increase the cost. Let's bring down the cost, make it more affordable for people, and you cover the shipping from Canada, and it's dirt cheap. Just like it's like shipping in the US is dirt cheap. Shipping Canada to Canada is dirt cheap, but shipping internationally
Yeah.
is
I don't
more
do too
expensive.
many people overseas because it is, well, the thing is, it costs a lot for me to send it, but then they have to pay to get it out of customs.
Uh-huh.
So that's a big investment. So not so much over there, but a lot of people that are in Europe come to the US and they stay with somebody, and then I send the kit to their family or where they're going to be, and we can do it in America, and it's cheaper to buy clothes, and you have a bigger selection here.
Yeah.
So it can work. I do, my thing is to do people in the US. I feel like a lot of us just need to get started here, So yeah, it's
No,
interesting.
I love that. What is it about style that's brought it to brought you into it? Like you said, you started hairdressing really young. What was it about hair that brought you into this world?
I don't know. I just know I always loved it. And I feel like I have a gift for that. And I think it's just what I wanted to do, right? And I wanted some career. I didn't have a very good home life. And so I was determined to have a better life than my parents had. And then I met my adorable husband in my senior year of my high school. And we actually got married before I was even graduated. We fell in love right away. But we've been married for 54 and a half years.
Congratulations.
So, yeah. So, like when you when I found God's love when I was young, and in one of the classes they taught us to pray for our future spouse, and I started doing that, not knowing really it mattered, but it mattered because now I'm still married to this amazing man, and he's always supported me in my business, whatever I wanted to do. I've had 4 salons and a makeover studio, so you know what I'm saying. So I've done a lot of change and a lot of growth. So I think part of entrepreneurship is don't be afraid to grow and change. You have to be willing to try something new. There's no, that you don't die when you fail. You just stop and, reevaluate and what can you do different, right? So, yeah.
I love that. And like, that reminds me of a lyric that I hold really close to my heart. It's from Grateful. I forget the singer's name, and it goes, every L I take is just a W looking for its other half. And when you fail, it's the same thing. It's a lesson you're learning to make yourself better. Now, on that, because it's investing in yourself, when you fail, you invest in yourself to get better. In your journey as a total transformational specialist, what investments in yourself, whether they be skills, mindset, or experiences, have you had the most profound impact on your ability to guide others towards an authentic self-discovery and transformation?
I think being willing to speak on podcasts and be seen and heard and do live events. I love live events where they can actually connect with me. I present something that a lot of people have never thought about. And sometimes people have to think about the investment they're going to make. And are they willing to invest in that, change up their wardrobe? And you don't have to spend a lot of money. People think, oh, I'm going to have you throw your wardrobe out and start over. That's not how it works. And I think that I made this saying up that says, fashion is a look. It's not an age, a size, a name brand, or a price tag. It's who you're being and what you're wearing. Approachable, attractive, confident, and feeling like you're the best version of your authentic self. So when you put those components together and see it as an investment in yourself so people can connect with you quicker and easier, it's a bridge of connection. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think if you realize that people are going to make an assessment about you, and if you don't look like you take care of yourself or love yourself to really look amazing, they don't think you're going to take care of their business.
Oh, that is good. I like that. That's a great piece of advice for people, and a great saying as well. I'm curious, since you've had such an expansive career in the entrepreneurial world, and obviously faced ups and downs, like most of us have, is there a moment in your journey that keeps you going? Like, it's a memory that you pull from whenever you're having those little harder than regular days, when things seem not to be going the way they should be. Is there a memory that just pops up that just keeps you pushing through those darker days?
I think it's the response of my clients that they'll say, Patsy, look at this new outfit I found. They found it for themselves. I didn't have to shop for them. And I know that when I know that the difference I make is huge. If people are ready, sometimes people are not ready for your business. Like, you know what I mean? I share my information and I leave it up to God to bring me the right clients, right? And then when they're open and ready to look amazing and invest in themselves, I work with them one-on-one for quite a while so we can find the right things. We just start with a few great tops, the right colors, right? It's a process you go through. And I think that's about the business, is knowing that I just keep asking God for the right clients, right? And I share it everywhere because I don't know who they are. So I think that knowing that getting on one more podcast, that might be the people that are going to want something that I have, right? Mm-hmm. I think it's not giving up every day when you don't feel like getting up and getting dressed. Like for me, to get on a podcast takes a lot of, I have to do my hair, my makeup, like this, like you put a nice shirt on and comb your hair, you're go. You have to spend a lot more time and energy, right? And so I think it's just saying, yes, I'm not going to quit until it's time. So what I'm doing is really out of the box. Embracing your essence is a whole different concept. I'm not a stylist that takes you out shopping for the latest fashion. I'm the stylist that figures out who you are and what is your core element. And let's find the clothes that are your colors that make you look the best, that make you feel confident and help you step in to be your best version, right? Of being authentically you, male or female. I work with men too. And I find that they're a little bit easier because they don't have such a big wardrobe. Women seem to have to justify investing the money unless they're doing really well. Then they know they're going to be speaking or they've written a book or they're ready to go out and about. But sometimes I think that's the biggest challenge is like getting you to realize that what if what you're wearing could draw somebody in and not push them away? Like I was wearing black and I was hiding in plain sight, not a clue. So I thought it'd be fun just to share a couple ideas. So here's some basic colors that everybody can wear to start with. So teal is a blue-green and it's a universal color. So you can get a teal polo shirt and you can wear it all the time, right? And then there's a color called eggplant, which is a deep wine color. That's a foundation color and it's more of a power color. So if you're the speaker, that's a great color to wear, or hunter green. Those are really good colors to wear. And then the last one is this, your eye color. When you wear your eye color, you're most approachable, right? So those 4 little simple tips will get you started, but you have a palette of 40 colors to work from that you can wear lighter or darker. Like it's just a foundation piece of how to get, the best looks out there and know when to wear what. And it doesn't have to be hard. You just have to want to look amazing every day when you walk out of your bedroom. You can be the rock star every day because when you feel like a rock star, when you go out to do your work, that energy is contagious.
It's so true. It's so true. When you have a positive energy, you just bring people in. I have a question. I know you just gave us some foundational advice for what kind of colors we should wear. I want to know if you could give a piece of advice to my listeners listening and the potential future entrepreneurs that are listening as well. What is one piece of advice you would give them if they were trying to find their element or trying to find the color that works for them? How would you suggest that they go about doing that?
Well, I think the best thing is just have a conversation with me. And on my website, embracingyouressence.com, you can click on the link, Let's Connect. And we can have a conversation. We can start there. See if you're ready. See if I can give you a couple ideas. But it's really, because it's so personal, it's an individual thing. So each person has their own gifts and their own desires and their own essence. And so I have to get acquainted with you, figure out who are you and how you're showing up and what work are you doing in the world that's going to make a big impact. So it's really about, let's have a conversation. Let's connect.
I love that. We are coming to the end of the episode, which I hate because, Patsy, I'm having a great time chatting with you, learning so much, knowing that hunter green can help me out, or, eggplant would be a great foundational color for me when I go on stage. But I want to bring 10-year-old Patsy right here. She's right beside me. She's spitfire. She just finished doing her cousin's hair, if you will. What's one piece of advice that you would love to pass on to 10-year-old Patsy?
I would say, make sure you wear clothes you feel good in that really represent. If you like them at 10, you would kind of already have a sense of who you are, right? Sometimes 3-year-olds know what they like. And in today's digital market, kids know much sooner. But I think when you look nice, people have more respect for you. They're more attracted to you. So always make sure you look nice and feel good in your clothes.
Great piece of advice. I can't thank you enough. Patsy, I'm going to jump off stage here. I want you to let my audience know where they can connect with you, where they can follow you. If you have anything you want to share with them, please, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Bill. I have to say that I do have Facebook and Instagram. I'm not great at being on that a lot, but I think connecting with me on my website is probably the easiest way because I really want to find out who you are and what your gifts are. And there's sometimes people like me for YouTube that I think would be a good connection. So if you go to my website, embracingyouressence.com, and click on the connect link. Let's have a conversation. That's the easiest way. You can peruse my website. You can see the different testimonials I have and different things I've done. I've been on tons of podcasts. Play around there and see if you're ready to be seen and heard in a bigger way. Because if you look amazing and feel amazing in what you're wearing, it will attract others. And that's the thing. We need to have you wear who you are to be confident.
I love it. Patsy, I can't thank you enough for coming on and sharing your story and giving us some practical advice on how to embrace our essence with simple color and style. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And to my audience, make sure you check out the show notes down below so that you can get that link straight to setting up a call with Patsy so that you can find your element that can help you look amazing and you can start embracing your essence with what you're wearing and what you style. So once again, remember to always invest in yourself.
Thanks for tuning in. Now it's time to take the next step. When you're ready to dive deeper into how to launch, grow, and monetize your podcast, Phil's got something special for you. Join him for a free webinar where he'll reveal the 3 secrets that have helped countless entrepreneurs succeed in podcasting. Click the link in the show notes to save your spot, and let's turn your podcasting dreams into reality.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/kidsandfamily. Just go to Indeed.com/kidsandfamily right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.